Got me. Good. Test. Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
The following is a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.
Welcome to the Adam Nightingale Show, powered by IBEW NECA 665. Learn more at IBEWNECA665.org on the Spartan Media Network.
Fink is back out of the box.
Yes!
Sturback shot. Goal!
Oh! That's all we needed.
Holy cow. Up the far board, Shouty.
Come on.
To the left circle.
Yes!
Shoots. Goal! 30 seconds.
Oh, yes!
And a shot and a goal for Michigan State. Danny Russell knocks it in.
The Adam Nightingale Show is also brought to you by MSU-FCU. Spartan fans dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. Meyer, supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Auto Owners Insurance. Simple Human Sense. The Munn Team. Jan and John Munn at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Tommy Raines Realtors. Realtors that get results. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartans Athletics. And Michigan's premier motor coach company. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. One North Kitchen and Bar. Making good times great. Alumni Hall, your ultimate Spartan shopping experience. Labatt Blue Light, we're brewed for the road. And Shaheen Chevrolet, your hometown dealership. Now let's join our host, Scott Moore.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Adam Nightingale Show, powered by IBEW NECA 665. Coach is here. Woody is as well. And for the next 60 minutes, we'll talk about last week's exhibition win over Windsor, this week's season opener against
game to kind of get it out of you and looking to take a step this weekend in that.
did your team get it out of them nights? You got a short week, short practice as you get ready for New Hampshire. What do you want to see as the biggest thing, the biggest part of improvement from your team from Friday to this Thursday?
Yeah, I think the word we've used with our group is just maturing, right? And it's hard, right? We've played one exhibition game, but just knowing the group that we have, I think that is our test every weekend, is to play the game mature. And we got a lot of talent on our team, guys that want to do it the right way and are hungry to do it the right way, and have shown they're smart and coachable. But sometimes you got to play games and have a little bit of evidence. Hey, this needs to be a bit better, or keep doing the things that we're doing well. And but yeah, no, I'm confident in our guys. Again, I think when you recruit the type of kids that we do, they're hungry to, they don't have all the answers, right? And so they want to get better, and they're looking for direction and guidance, and they've shown that this week, and hopefully we'll do that this weekend.
For the game on Friday, you put together an all-freshman line with Eric Nielsen centering Riker Lee and Anthony Romani. That is one talented all-freshman line, and they look pretty good together.
Yeah, no, I thought they had a really good game. You look at like scoring chances. I mean, they were all over it. And there's three guys there that think pretty similar. They're different players, but their ability to read the ice and create time and space for each other. And I think they can grow in areas too of getting to the inside. I think it's when you have that much skill, it's easy to fall in love with the outside a little bit. And definitely you have the puck, and definitely, but at the end of the day, it's about getting to the inside and about repeatedly getting there. So we're excited about not just that line. I thought all four lines contributed, and not to say they'll all stay the same, but I think that they were off to a good start.
One of those freshmen, Riker Lee, what a goal he had! But you've known him for quite a while, haven't you? And so you're those moves that he showed on Friday, that's not new to you.
Yeah, no, we're lucky to have him. He comes from a great family, and he's a really grounded kid, and he loves being at the rink. You watch him. That was one thing. I thought Ike last year was, just being around him, you just love being at the rink. And we got a group of guys that are that way. And I think Ike's cut from that same cloth. So, but yeah, watched him since he was like 13 years old, and just when I was working with the national team at the time, you're trying to identify kids to potentially play in the national team. So Shattuck St. Mary's is a program we definitely watched close, and he was always ultra talented. He just needed to grow a little bit, right? And I think when he committed to us, he was 5'6" or 7", and now he's 6'1", and he's getting stronger and faster, and his talent, you can it's pretty obvious on the ice.
Well, and you bring up Ike. Pretty cool. He got called up earlier this afternoon. He's going to start with Edmonton, it sounds like, tonight. Yeah. And then another one of your former players, Artie Levshnoff, opening roster with the Blackhawks as well. Pretty cool to see those two guys
for sure
getting up there.
For sure. No, I think Ike, it's a little bit weird with people probably saw he got sent down yesterday, but it's like a paper transaction, but they've kind of done away with it. You can do it on paper. So we actually had to fly to Bakersfield, stay there for a little bit, and fly back to clear some cap space. And then Artie, it's good for Artie to start up. I actually had it on the radio, and sounds like he's taken 2 penalties already. So
oh, yeah. All right. There's a phone call coming.
Yep,
definitely. Hey, before we go to the break, I saw something on social media this week. Did you guys have a pizza party on the patio this week or something?
We did, yeah.
And was there bragging rights involved?
Yeah, there's a few. So we had Sunday, we didn't practice on Saturday, gave me the day off, and then Sunday we practiced, and we kind of talked as a staff. It'd be nice to have the guys, hang out at the rink and spend some time together. And it was a beautiful day. And normally, right there, when we get done with practice, they're heading to class. So this was kind of a unique opportunity. So Claire did a great job in getting organized and getting us a whole bunch of dough and sauce and accoutrements, as Mike Porter calls them. And we had a little contest there, cooking some pizzas, and the Sturgey struggled. We had to actually throw his pizza away, which can happen. But I thought Bazzi, I think Bazzi and Ralphie made a heck of a pie. It was the last one of the day, and it was a pepperoni jalapeno combination, a little Mike's Hot Honey on it. So we call it a Diablo, and they ended up winning.
Who got the judge?
Me.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So the captain wins.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to think about that.
It was pretty obvious if you saw him.
Hey, when you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local teams across the Midwest, from big league stadiums to the neighborhood ballpark. Learn more online at Meijer.com/community. We will be back with more of the Adam Nightingale Show, powered by IBEW NECA 665, right after this break on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Sometimes we're asked if you need to be a Spartan to be a member of Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. The answer is no. To be an MSU FCU member, you just need 3 things. 1, you love saving money and earning cash back. 2, you have a passion for supporting your community, just like we do. 3, when it comes to your future, you prefer to dream big. If this sounds like you, visit msufcu.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board with that too. Go green.
Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.ufmhealthsparrow.org.
Welcome back to the Adam Nightingale Show, powered by IBEW NECA 665. Whether your move is across town or across the nation, the MUN team can help. Whether you're in the market to buy, sell, or both, check out the MUN team online at munteam.com. That's Jan and John Munn, serving buyers and sellers since 1985. They're realtors who get results. Well, as usual, in the second segment, Rob Woodward is out in the audience, and we're going to get some questions from our audience. There you are, Rob. You're hiding behind the table. And we'll go to our regular first question, who was not here last week, Mr. Bria. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you much, Scott. I appreciate it. Adam, great weekend.
Thank you. Yeah,
great
good to see you. Good to have you back.
Now we go next weekend. We do the same thing, right?
That's right.
Yeah, let me find my question here.
I don't know. You know, Bert did okay with the first question last week. He didn't have to look for his question.
Long off season for Bria.
Yeah, first show jitters here.
Adam, one of the things I noticed during practice and also during the game is the height of the players that you're recruiting. Are you focusing on a height, some kind of height restriction, or you want to get them as big as you can?
No, that's a good observation. No, I think we're looking for the smartest, most competitive, most team guys, and they come in all different shapes and sizes. I mean, we just talked about Riker Lee, right? When we recruited him, he was 5'7", 5'8", you know, and so he's obviously grown. I do think, you know, all things equal, if you can get a guy that similar skill set that's bigger and longer, it's especially on the back end. You know, I think having some defensemen, some length back there. You look at the skill that we got to play against in our conference and nationally. That's important, and so I think it's just a nature. It wasn't like we said, hey, we got to get bigger, but we feel fortunate for the size we have, and I think it'll help us in the long term.
And it's not just size nights. I mean, these guys can play and they can get up and down the ice as well.
They can move.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's important, right? We want kids that can skate too. So it's one thing to be big, but you got to be able to move.
If you got a question for Coach, get your hand up. Woody will bring you the mic, just like he did for Bird, our buddy.
How you doing, Scott?
I'm good.
How you, Coach?
How you doing, Bird?
That was a great second period, I thought. How the shots started increasing on the second period, and the passing looked really crisp, I thought.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, I was wondering, this our next opponent's got 2 new goalies and that. What do you do to prepare for a couple goalies that you haven't seen in a while?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that you just look at college, not just college hockey, college athletics, right? Like the turnover on teams between the transfer portal and now, college hockey, you throw in the CHL and just a whole bunch of new players and teams are different, right? So early season, so much of it's focused on ourselves. I think with goaltending, Jared DeMichael will watch the goalie whoever we're playing. We'll find out who the starter is early and maybe a few scoring tips for the guys. And but I think it comes down to habits, regardless of who's in the net. And one of the things I thought we can do a better job at is having a guy at the net. And these goalies are so good in college hockey that you're not going to beat them from the outside if you don't take away his eyes and have a great net presence. I think you look at Riker's goal that we talked about earlier. I don't think we don't score that if Porter Mortone's not right in the goalie's face. Charlie Strammel's goal right is a tip goal. So there's 2 of the goals there where it's critical to have a net presence. So I think focusing on that, like scoring habits, and then just getting in on and off your stick. Like we spend a lot of time before practice, after practice, in the shooting room of either it's one-timing pucks or getting it on and off quick. If there's a lateral pass and you catch it and you stick handle, and the goalie gets set, it's hard to finish. But just like Tommy's goal, right? Tommy got it on and off his stick. It's hard for the goalie to set up. And so we're less focused on who the goalie is and trying to have good scoring habits.
Dave has one over on the right.
Hi, Scott. Hi, Coach.
How you doing?
Nice to see you guys.
You too.
I have some news for the room first because the contract has now been signed. If you are not going to the Northern Michigan series, you'll be able to watch the Friday night game live thanks to WILX here in town.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Thanks, Dave, for all the help with that.
But you can still listen to the radio if you want.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I highly suggest you turn down the 2 boneheads that are on the TV call and listen to Scott and Wood.
I know those 2 boneheads.
Yeah, for sure. My question for you is about your freshmen, not necessarily just this year, but who are the freshmen that you've seen adjust to the college game fastest of anybody that you've coached or played with? And how much does off the ice adjustment help in that really hitting the ground running?
Ooh, that's a tough question as far as who's adjusted. I mean, I thought our first year, Carson Dorward and Danny Russell right off the bat. I mean, they were, and I think that's important for us to understand recruiting, right? They weren't draft picks. They weren't, there wasn't a ton of hype on them, but they stepped right in and were top line players on our team. And I think a big reason for that is they had a humility to them. They were hungry. They didn't feel entitled to, hey, I'm supposed to play in this spot. They were just going to go out and earn it. And, I thought those guys, if you ask me, that's about as good as I've seen guys adjust. And what was the second part of the question?
Who hits the ground running best?
From the guys we have right now? Oh, I think they've all, in their own unique way, have started well. I think there's, I look at Eric Nielsen. He's a really young hockey player, but he's really cerebral. Caden Lidstrom's going to do it a little more with physical attributes. He's an explosive athlete. Martone's a little bit of a hockey player. I thought Barnhill had a great game. And, I think a combination. Riker Lee, obviously, his skill stood out. So I think all the guys are adjusting in their own way.
Yeah, off the ice and how much that adjustment helps. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing, right? We just see them at the rink, and I think fans see them at the rink, and the reality is these guys got a lot on their plate, and trying to do the best they can in the classroom, and they get here in the summer, and it's not as fast a pace, and then all of a sudden they're taking a full load. And Melissa Talent handles our academics, does a great job, and keeps the guys on track. And I think they've all really done a good job, and I think it speaks to our leadership of there's bumps in the road for sure of acclimating to it, but as a whole, this group I think is acclimated really well.
We got time for one more question from the audience.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Absolutely blown away with that first period, first goal. What was it, 32 seconds or something like that?
Yeah, 35.
But I got a trivia. So since you've been here, what is the quickest first period, first goal? Do you recall?
Oh, I don't. I feel like Danny Russell might have scored one really fast our first year, but I don't know the. Do you have the answer? No.
Oh, she's just asking.
Gosh, I don't know. Dave Ellis might be able to have that one pretty quick for us, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like Danny scored one year quick. I felt like our first year he scored early. Might have been against Minnesota, maybe.
I can only go back last year where he scored real late.
Yeah. I think it might have been our first year, and that was the year that we couldn't keep it within a touchdown against Minnesota. They were taking it to us every game, but I think Danny scored early in that game.
Mr. Ellis is thinking it might be Tanner Kelly. Well, that's not with Knights, though.
No. Tim, actually, Tanner scored really early. Actually, Tanner scored an early goal against these guys last year, but I think it was about a minute and a half into the game.
We knew you were right.
Yep.
Well, you had the
That's a
initials.
good tag
right.
team there.
That's right.
Exactly. Frankly, you'll want to join us for the Michigan Sports Brief every weekday on your very own Spartan Media Network affiliate. It's presented by Frankenmuth Insurance. Find a local agent near you by visiting www.fmins.com. Our presentation tonight, as always, powered by IBEW NICA 665. When we come back, we'll talk with Charlie Stramel. You're listening to the Adam Nightingale Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Org. Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.ufmhealthsparrow.org.
Sometimes we're asked if you need to be a Spartan to be a member of Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. The answer is no. To be an MSU FCU member, you just need three things. 1, you love saving money and earning cash back. 2, you have a passion for supporting your community, just like we do. 3, when it comes to your future, you prefer to dream big. If this sounds like you, visit msufcu.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board with that too. Go green.
Welcome back. We're live in East Lansing with more of the Adam Nightingale Show, powered by IBEW NICA 665. And we are joined now by number 15, a center from Rosemount, Minnesota, Charlie Stramel, one of your alternate captains. Congratulations on that, Charlie. I'm sure that when you found out about that, that's kind of a highlight thing.
Yeah, no, obviously very exciting. I was very honored to be voted that by my teammates. And yeah, from my end, just trying to do my best to help lead this team to, be the last one standing.
That's pretty cool to bestow that honor, Charlie. And I asked Matt last weekend who was the first person that he spoke to when he found out he was captain. Who's the first person that you told once you found out you're going to wear that A?
I'd say call my mom for sure. She was a coach, high school soccer coach for a while, won a few state championships. So she's kind of taught me a lot of that leadership qualities. And yeah, I'm very thankful that she was there for me.
As a senior, can't believe you're a senior already. I know you've only been here 2 years now, but already a senior. When you look at some of these new guys, from a player's perspective, who stands out to you? I'm sure the list could probably be long.
Yeah, no, obviously we got a very talented freshman class, transfers as well. Say guys that stick out to me, like regularly, obviously tremendous skill, compete. Porter's been great playing with him. You know, he's a great hockey player, works very hard. I'd say those are some of the bigger guys that stand out, but even like a Colin Ralph, like a big, steady defenseman that transfers, defends hard. I know going against him in practice every day, it's not as easy as some other guys, but yeah, no, I think those are the guys that pop out for me.
Knights, how has Charlie elevated his game from last season to this year, even though this season's young?
Yeah, he's really taken a step. You know, I think last year, you know, he took a big step when, you know, when we had talked when he was coming in, right? It's just taking care of his body and really making not that he wasn't committed, but at an elite level, right? And he did a great job of getting into shape. And then I think this year, you know, just playing more to the identity that he needs to play to, right? And I think as the year went on last year, it was more and more of it. But it was really cool to get on the ice of our first practice. It was really obvious, not just me, our whole staff, that he's had a great summer and he's committed to doing what it takes to play the game that he needs to play to help us be a great hockey team.
Charlie, what is that identity that Coach Knights talks about?
Yeah, I'd say that power forward center role where it's a full 200-foot player that's very competitive on the puck in all three zones and doing what I can to create chances and also shut down chances in the defensive zone.
Charlie, your first 2 years at Wisconsin, you had 8 goals, 12 assists, a total of 20 points. Last year in one season here in East Lansing, 9 goals, 18 assists for 27 points. Yeah, that's worth a round of applause. When it starts to click for you like that, what's that like?
Yeah, no, it feels great. I think a big thing for me was, you know, getting my confidence back. And I think also stepping into this culture, what Coach Nightingale and everyone has created here, it's obviously that competitive culture helps out players a ton. So when I got back to, you know, really working hard and getting back to what I need to do to help the team win, it helped my game. And I know it's helped a ton of other players' games as well.
Last season, you know, the 9 goals are great. You had some good goals. You had some good assists as well. One that sticks out in my head is the assist on Ike Howard's game winner against Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game. Let's take a listen. Off of the near side, Russell over to the far boards, brought in by Stramel around behind the net, steps out into the right circle.
Yes!
Howard
Yes!
scores! Woo! What a game! What a win! When you think back on that goal, when did you pick Ike up? I mean, you're coming around behind the net like that. Yeah, take me through the process if you can.
Yeah, no, just caught the puck kind of by the blue line. Tried to take the guy wide a little bit. He had a pretty good gap, so I ended up taking it around the net. And then I'd say right when I got around the net, kind of had a peek on Ike sitting in the slot. He likes to be there a lot. And, yeah, luckily got it into him, and Ike did what Ike does and got the job done.
We talked a little earlier in the show about that goal mouth presence, and that paid off for you in the exhibition game on Friday. You look at something like that and you say, boy, made it look easy. That's not easy.
Yeah. I think net front presence is a big part of what we, you know, harp on every day as a team, and it's important. It's not easy to get to the dirty areas and eat some cross checks, etc. But you got to do it if you want to score goals and help the team win.
I would say too with Charlie. I mean, I remember going back to our 17 year, actually pretty cool connection with Michigan State. Is, you know, Charlie had obviously a ton of talent and raw ability, and, you know, learning to play, be a net front player. I think he's the best net front guy in college hockey, but he didn't have that necessarily. And at that time, Justin Ablocator was coming out and skating with our team. And, you know, you look at Abby's role here at Michigan State was a little bit different than when he got to pro hockey. He ended up being a net front guy, and it was pretty cool. Abby spent a ton of time with Charlie and helping mentor him. And I think that's more powerful than a coach, right? Having a guy that just was in the league and that was great at this and trying to teach the value of it.
Well, we will take a break, but stay with us, Charlie. We've got some extra questions for you. Say hello to Cash Back Plus, a member benefit from MSU FCU. Browse personalized offers from your favorite brands and hundreds more to purchase digital gift cards in any amount and receive instant cash back up to 20%. Earn cash back on your everyday purchases with Cash Back Plus, only at MSU Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of Spartan Athletics. We're back with more of the Adam Nightingale Show, powered by IBEW NICA 665, after this on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward. We are professional grade. Michigan residents get $1,000 lease cash. Well-qualified GM employees with a current eligible GMC lease use it to get a 24-month ultra-low mileage lease for $199 per month with $29.99 due at signing on a 2025 Sierra light-duty elevation crew cab 4x4 with a 2.7-liter engine. That's $199 per month with $29.99 due at signing. Must be a current lessee of a 2020 model year or newer Buick or GMC vehicle through GM Financial for at least 30 days prior to the new vehicle sale. Tax, title, license, dealer fees extra. No security deposit required. Mileage charge of 25 cents a mile over 20,000 miles. At participating dealers only. Residency restrictions apply. Visit gmcofferinfo.com for details.
Sometimes we're asked if you need to be a Spartan to be a member of Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. The answer is no. To be an MSU FCU member, you just need three things. 1, you love saving money and earning cash back. 2, you have a passion for supporting your community, just like we do. 3, when it comes to your future, you prefer to dream big. If this sounds like you, visit msufcu.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board with that too. Go green.
We are back with more of the Adam Nightingale Show, powered by IBEW NICA 665. And we're here from One North Kitchen and Bar, East Lansing, for all of our Spartan Coaches shows. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. We are visiting with Charlie Stramel. And Charlie, we've got a thing. You know, we did it last year. It was a little bit different. It was rapid fire. Now these are icebreaker questions. Rob wants to get to know all the seniors before they leave. So,
hey, but before we start on that, Charlie, I'm curious. That's pretty cool that you got to work with Abs like that. What was the thing that you took away the most when you were working with Abdicator?
I'd say obviously a lot of it was net front work. His attention to detail. You know, he'd proven he'd been on that great Detroit power play with Zetterberg and Datsuk and all those guys, and really just teaching me little tips and tricks on, you know, how to play the net front, whether that's power play 5-on-5. And he was definitely a huge mentor for me throughout my early career.
And you utilize that in the games now, huh? Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, you ready for this?
Ready to go.
Here we go. All right. 10 easy ones for you. Here we go. As a child, what do you want to be when you grew up besides a hockey player?
Professional baseball player.
What was your favorite team as a kid? And it could be any sport at any level.
Minnesota Wild.
Is your bed made right now?
No.
I like the honesty.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you organized or messy?
Messy.
What creeps you out?
The crowd didn't hear one of the answers.
Minnesota Wild was
Minnesota
his favorite
Wild.
team. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Makes sense being from Minnesota. Sure. What creeps you out?
Eating with your mouth open.
I like that. Me too. Favorite pregame meal?
I'd say salmon and rice.
What do you put on first? Left skate or right skate?
Varies.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. What's the last app that you opened on your phone?
Snapchat.
What's the best logo in professional sports? Any team, any league. Pro, though.
Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
Who are two teammates that you don't want to get hit by?
Colin Ralph and Cole Ward.
Teammate most likely to go viral with a TikTok video.
Gavin O'Connell.
Okay.
Smart, fast, and hard. If you could only have one as a player, which one do you take?
Smart.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Charlie Stramel, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Charlie, it says in your bio that you're a communications major. When you're done playing hockey, what do you want to do?
Honestly, right now, I don't really know, but I think some form of maybe communications, but some form of business, some sort of sales.
All right. That's all great. Thanks for coming out and joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Rick.
Alternate captain, Charlie Stramel. It is time for Alumni Hall Trivia. Today's winner will receive tickets to one of the upcoming home games and a $25 gift card to Alumni Hall. Here's the question for today. The Spartans and the Wildcats of New Hampshire will be meeting for the 15th time in program history on Thursday night. The series is a split so far, 7 wins for each team. MSU, though, has won 6 of the last 7 games in the series, including the last 2 that were played at home, a 5-0 shutout and a 7-4 victory in November of 2015. Now, the question is, what current member of the Detroit Red Wings scored twice in that series? Rob will bring the microphone around and we'll get the answers after our commercial break. The Adam Nightingale Show is powered by IBEW NICA 665. Back after this timeout on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
Farm Bureau Insurance invites you inside the green for an exclusive dinner with basketball coach Tom Izzo. This unique experience includes a private dinner for 1 winner and 3 guests with Coach Izzo. The winner also receives a private tour of the Breslin Center, an autographed basketball from Coach, tickets to a future home game, and more. For more details and to register, visit InsideTheGreenSweeps.com. Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of Michigan State Athletics.
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
Here you go, go!
Run, James!
No, first base!
Go, go, go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.ufmhealthsparrow.org.
Welcome back for more Spartan Hockey Talk on the Adam Nightingale Show, powered by IBEW NICA 665. We are looking for an answer to our Alumni Hall trivia question. The trivia question is, the last time that the Spartans played against New Hampshire, a current member of the Red Wings scored twice in that series. Do we have an answer?
Mason Appleton.
Mason Appleton is correct. Very good. The clues, by the way, were in 2 seasons. He had 17 goals and 36 assists here. He's in his 9th year of professional hockey. He spent 1 year with Seattle, the rest of his career at Winnipeg, and wore number 27. Thank you for participating in Alumni Hall Trivia. Alumni Hall, your ultimate Spartans shopping experience. And now it's time for our variable feature. Not necessarily every week, but we're going to do one this week. Dougie's Den.
My name is Doug, and I am awesome. Yeah.
All right. With our director of hockey operations, Daniel Sturgis, also known as Dougie. You and I chatted about it a little bit earlier. A normal week for you. What is a normal week for you like in your role as director of hockey operations?
First of all, Scott, Woody, thank you for having me on back on the show. Appreciate you guys.
Wait, before you start with Scotty's question, can we talk about this pizza thing here? Did that really happen? Did they throw your pizza out?
Oh, that's a real story. Yeah. First time.
Was that bad?
Oh, I've been strictly kitchen duty, clean up. Really took a lot of pride in trying to clean up. Coach said, "You're the cleanup guy." Okay, coach,
Hey,
got it.
hey.
So then it came to, I got the call a couple weeks ago, tell you, like, hey, I might need you to throw some pies. I said, okay. I don't know how to do that, but I'm going to try my best. So then it came down to it, and we needed to make some pizzas, have some out for the players. And I saw Coach Nightingale. I've seen him do a lot of pies, real good. He could do it with his eyes closed. I think I got to try this. Okay. Get the dough. I saw him doing it, okay, working the dough, got it in my hands going. Okay, we're good. So then Coach Nightingale's out. He's doing his thing. Coach Towns, hey, how much sauce do I put on? Yeah, that's good. Is this enough? Yeah, okay. Put it on there. Needless to say, I did a really poor job working the dough. That thing blew up like a volcano in that oven. And I didn't know what should happen. I took it out and tried a piece. Boy, oh boy, it was like eating raw dough and a little bit of sauce and some burnt cheese. And,
well, I looked at it too, because I was like, I got 2 dogs at home. I was like, I could feed it to the dogs. And then I actually decided, no, it's not good enough for the dog.
They bumped you up to the top line.
Hey, all I can tell you, Scott and Woody, I tried my best.
Hey.
It did not go well, but guess what? Next time, if I get an opportunity, I learned a lot. So
right.
we'll be better the next time.
That's right.
There you go.
So I'm guessing there is no typical week for you then. If the week started making pizza that got thrown away.
I would say that the only difference, and I think this is a lot different than, probably when Coach and I played, is, your standard week is Monday through Saturday. You practice 4 days, you play 2 games, and Sunday is your off day. It's just different now, when the season starts, which days you play, who you're playing, if you're traveling. So sometimes I think that changes, but truthfully, the way that the coaches have it set up here at Michigan State is, we do the same thing, whether we play Thursday or Wednesday, we have a plan in place that, trying to make it as seamless as possible for the players. The coaches know what to expect. Coach Nightingale knows exactly what he wants to do in terms of drills. Coach DeMichael and Towns have their power play stuff ready to go. So if we have to do short week, long week, it doesn't really matter. But for me, personally, I try to keep it as, straightforward as possible and as consistent as possible. So I try to wake up at the same time every day, going to the rink. I have a little bit of time to do some of my stuff, but especially in non-conference time, I do all the video for every team that we play. The coaches know the Big Ten like the back of their hand, so that's really, really great when we get into Big Ten play. But the non-conference stuff, I have to be ready Monday morning or whatever Monday morning is going to be. It was Sunday this past week. I was ready with New Hampshire stuff, and they've only played an exhibition this year. So there's not a lot of tape on them. They have a different lineup, but truthfully, even if I only watch games from last year, the coaches ask me questions on, tendencies, things that they do, but the staff does a great job of focusing on our team. And I can remember calling Coach Nightingale when he was with the Red Wings, doing the video job for them. And I used to come in and I'd watch 5 or 6 games, and I'd have 44 checks and 50 breakouts, and I'd have all this hours and hours, and I'd be like, these are all so good, and I got to show these things. And I remember talking to him, and he did a great job because he'd been through it for a while. He said, look, you need the 4 or 5 best forechecks or breakouts or whatever it is for your systems, because hockey has a lot of systems. You need the 4 or 5 best ones in terms of your list. So you end up with 20, maybe 30 clips, and then you pare that down. So, you know, with our staff, I will show them anywhere from 5 to 10 clips on the team that we're going to be playing. I'll try to give them some information. I will watch press conferences and things like that, more just for my preparation, just to see how the coach operates, what he's saying, how he felt they might have played this past weekend, things like that. So that's just my process. That's how I feel prepared. They're hyper-focused on our team, which I think is awesome. So if sometimes he may ask me a question on the team that they played, and I have a blank stare on my face because I have no idea. So
how nice is it for you in your position to have the head coach that's done that before, not only in the pros, as you mentioned with the Wings, but also at this level too?
I mean, it's unique. It's invaluable, I think. I don't know if there's another head coach in college hockey who's ever done what Coach Nightingale's done, and not just from a video perspective, but just his path for coaching. Because when I first came back here, my goal was to be a coach. You know, I wanted to be, you know, like Coach DeMichael, Coach Fast, Coach Towns. Like, that was my plan. I knew full well that I wasn't just going to walk into Michigan State and be an assistant coach and then become the head coach and win national championships. That's not realistic. But, you know, I think that I've learned a ton, and I think his experience, he knows what it's like. So there's a good level of patience there because, you know, I make mistakes for sure. I'm not perfect at my job by any means, but I think that in similar fashion, you know, Coach Nightingale's expectation is we want to try to be the best college hockey program in the country. I take that personally as well. I want to be the best video coordinator or hockey ops guy in the country. Like, that's my expectation. And I'm certainly not better than anybody else out there, but it's that approach that, you know, the work is always going to be there. And I can tell you this, there's 1,000 other men or women out there that would love to have my job. And I know that, and I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Just out of curiosity, with, you know, you mentioned the fact that New Hampshire played an exhibition game on Friday. I know that you had broken stuff down beforehand from last season. How much of the stuff that you found on that exhibition game goes into the final presentation?
I would say it really more confirms what you might have seen before. So last year's team is going to be different, just like our team is different. So I will notice things, you know, talk to Coach Fast. We kind of try to compile clips together and, hey, did you see this? Hey, I was noticing this. And a lot of times when you watch video, at least as long as I've been doing it for about 6 years, you notice the tendencies. And again, Coach Nightingale gave me some good advice where you'll watch a team in their forecheck and they'll do something really off the wall. You'd be like, I got to show the coaches this. This is like going to help us win the game. And it's just some, you know, hockey's a game of mistakes. It's chaotic. That's not their typical plan. So, you know, you'll see a lot of similarities in their forecheck, their breakouts, their transition. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? Where are things that we need to be aware of that I'll tell the coaches that. Then it's up to them to decide as well, like, where can we expose some parts of their game that, you know, kind of will give us an opportunity. So you know, it really just more confirms it. An exhibition game at a neutral site isn't a great sample size, but I will say, based on their lineup, their roster, their coaching staff, it does confirm a lot of things, and it gives us at least a good reference point, you know, from a special team standpoint, 5-on-5, to go back to and say, yeah, they did all this stuff. Coach DeMichael coming from Hockey East, there's some good intel there. You know, and it's a lot of conversations, but at the end of the day, the coaches really focus on our team, and it gives me the opportunity to, you know, I've already started moving on to the next opponent just because there's a lot of video to cut down, but it doesn't mean that I'm, UNH, see you later, and we're moving on to the next week. But that's the job. As soon as you're done, you're in a good place. You start to have to think to the next thing.
Well, Dan Sturgis, thanks for stopping by again this week. We'll look forward to your next Dougie's Den.
Thank you for having me, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Good job.
The electrical contractors of IBEW NECA 665 provide the safest, highest quality electrical work at the best value to their customers. Learn more at IBEWNECA665.org. Our show is powered by IBEW NECA 665. Back with more after these words from your very own local station. You're listening to the Adam Nightingale Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
The Spartan Media Network when you need it. That's right. The Spartan Media Network now is on podcast platforms. Did you miss a MSU Coaches Show or want to check out exclusive interviews? Well, check out the Spartan Media Network and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcasts. The Spartan Media Network, now at your fingertips.
This is Labatt. We're brewed for the true hockey fans like you who yell, "Shoot it!" every chance they get. The fans that shout, "Ref, you suck!" because that works every time. You pound on the glass, spill half your beer, and act like you're running the power play, even though the only ice you usually see is ice cream. Hockey wouldn't be hockey without fans like you that bring the noise and the passion with an ice-cold Labatt in your hand. Labatt, we're brewed for the roast. Enjoy responsibly. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No, first base!
Go, go, go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
We are live in East Lansing with more of the Adam Nightingale Show, powered by IBEW NECA 665. When MSU hockey wins, so do you. You can celebrate with a BOGO offer on your favorite drinks after an MSU hockey victory this season. Well, Coach, you got the Wildcats of New Hampshire coming in this weekend, Thursday, Friday series. Wildcats didn't exactly set the world on fire last season, finished 10th out of 11 in Hockey East, 5-14-5 conference record. But we were talking about that exhibition game. They took on seventh ranked Maine and tied them 2-2, had a 2-0 lead, and then after losing that 2-0 lead, came back and won the shootout 2-1. Resilient bunch.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think you look at, again, I think rosters are ever changing, right? And there's a lot of new players. I know their staff does a heck of a job there. Hockey East is a tough conference, and they return a lot of guys that have scored in their lineup and brought in some guys that can score. And just watching them on tape, Sturgis gives us a small sample size. I'll watch games fully through, and I think just their ability to beat you in transition, like they are a fast team, and you better not fall asleep. And they're also very competitive and physical. I thought those two things really stood out. And some good special teams. So again, I think our focus is always going to be on us, but I think we definitely got to be at our best here this weekend if we expect to have success.
You mentioned the speed. Was there anything else that you saw on the video that Dan gave you that really made you sit up and take notice?
I think that was the big one of just how their ability to anticipate some offense and beat guys up the ice, right? And especially you're talking early season hockey where it's guys can take a breath in your shift, and before you know it, a guy's flying by you. So they definitely have some guys that can skate and beat you in transition, and those are dangerous teams. They're and then I think the physicality side that I mentioned before, right? We got to be ready for it and expect it.
How do you battle speed like that? Your team's got speed.
Yeah, I mean, I think you don't want to give teams offense, right? So managing the puck and not chucking it around and whole plays. And I think that just ignites teams that are good in transition. They're a transition game, and then I think just away from the puck, making sure that you're finishing checks and not puck watching, right? If I'm a guy away from the puck and I take an angle, make sure I'm bumping a guy and making sure we're hard to play against.
Well, we will take one final break, and we'll be back to wrap this one up in just a moment. Back with more of the Adam Nightingale Show, powered by IBEW NECA 665, after this break on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Sometimes we're asked if you need to be a Spartan to be a member of Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. The answer is no. To be an MSU FCU member, you just need 3 things. 1, you love saving money and earning cash back. 2, you have a passion for supporting your community, just like we do. 3, when it comes to your future, you prefer to dream big. If this sounds like you, visit msufcu.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board with that too. Go green.
Shaheen Chevrolet is going the extra mile for you during our lease pull-ahead event. Is your lease expiring soon? Or close to going over your miles? Or just want something new? Don't wait until the end of your lease. Upgrade to a new Chevrolet today. Learn how to get out of your lease early. We'll make it easy. New Chevrolets are delivered every week, so test drive your new ride today. Shop now at ShaheenChevrolet.com or stop by 632 American Road in Lansing. Together, let's drive.
This is Labatt. We're brewed for the true hockey fans like you who yell, "Shoot it!" every chance they get. The fans that shout, "Ref, you suck!" because that works every time. You pound on the glass, spill half your beer, and act like you're running the power play, even though the only ice you usually see is ice cream. Hockey wouldn't be hockey without fans like you that bring the noise and the passion with an ice-cold Labatt in your hand. Labatt, we're brewed for the roast. Enjoy responsibly. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
We are back with more of the Adam Nightingale Show, powered by IBEW NECA 665. Coach, before we let you go, there was an issue in the exhibition game where Nathan Mackey got cross-checked viciously during the game. And as I was watching what was happening, Tiernan Chowdy came out, circled around, and when he got to where the player from Windsor was, he did like a 90-degree turn and just went after him. I like that. I like sticking up for your guys like that.
No, I mean, I agree. I think that's part of our sport, right? You can't be pushed around, and you got to make sure you stick up for your teammates. It's obviously got to be the right timing of it, and you're not going to be. And I think that with our group, right, is discipline's going to be huge. But I also think we don't want to be the least penalized team in the country. I don't think we're going to be a good hockey team if they're the least penalized team. You got to get right to the edge, and I do think it's great if you're on a team and you know that your teammates always have your back.
All right. Well, we've got 2 games against New Hampshire coming up at Munn Ice Arena. We'll be on the air Thursday at 6:30, 7 o'clock puck drop. And then on Friday, we're on the air at 7 o'clock with face-off at 7:30 p.m. Our next show will be next Tuesday, October 14th, 6 p.m. right here at 1 North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing. Thanks to Coach, thanks to Woody, thanks to Charlie Stramel for coming by, Chris Ordaway here at 1 North, Matt Contreras Valenzuela in the studio, Gage Dansby on the video, Austin Overman with Athletic Communications, and the staff here at 1 North, the fans here in town and listening in Lansing and around the world. We'll talk to you on Thursday night. Till then, go green.
been listening to The Adam Nightingale Show, powered by IBEW NECA 665. Learn more at IBEWNECA665.org. The Adam Nightingale Show is also brought to you by MSU FCU. Spartan fans dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. Meyer, supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense. The Munn Team. Jan and John Munn at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Tommy Raines Realtors. Realtors that get results. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartans Athletics. And Michigan's premier motor coach company. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. Alumni Hall, your ultimate Spartan shopping experience. Labatt Blue Light, we're brewed for the road. And Shaheen Chevrolet, your hometown dealership. The Adam Nightingale Show has been a presentation of Playfly Sports in partnership with Michigan State Athletics. All rights reserved. Join us next time on this network station for all the action of Michigan State Spartan hockey, a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.